Hello and welcome back to the channel. You might be wondering, where the hell are we and what exactly are we doing here? Well, I'm JTM, the guy that's been running this channel for the last 3 odd years. And today, we're on the planet of Erekir, ranking its turrets. How will we find the best turrets, you may be asking? That's right, a tier list. From the absolute dogshit to the turrets that are approved by the Router Council, join me in this journey in ranking the Erekir turrets. Before we begin, we are ranking turrets of campaign use, not PvP. So before you hex to it start typing in the comments, keep in mind these are PvE rankings. Now let's get on with it. First up on the list, we got Scathe, a long-range artillery gun that fires guided missiles on its targets. Now be honest, which one of you actually use this in the campaign consistently? Regardless, I don't think anyone is defending this thing. The price is relatively expensive for the mid-game when you research it, making it more worthwhile to invest in units. It also uses carbide as ammo. That is already quite expensive, especially when you don't have power, but what makes it worse is that it needs 15 per shot. Nobody is making a dedicated carbide line for something as useless as this. By the time you actually get it operational, you'll probably either have captured the sector or have enough units to do so. The only redeeming quality it has is its range. Even then, it's not that useful when you have no carbide, no power, and probably no tungsten because of its high cost, cementing itself in D tier. In low C tier, we have Breach. It's the first turret you get, and it's decent at what it does. I'm lying here, it's absolute shit. Its cost is high for a starter unit, making it expensive in the very early game. Considering the fact that the core capacity is only 2k, it basically uses all of your resources. It uses beryllium and tungsten as ammo. It really doesn't get more mid than this. You see, in Supilo, we have to take on the communist approach. Duos are cheap and not really powerful. However, it makes up for this by being spammable. In Erekir, it takes the finest of German engineering approach, having expensive, time-consuming things which are quite powerful. The problem comes in when you realize that the Breach is mid at what it does. It's expensive and not really that powerful. The only decent trait it has is the ability to pierce units. Even then, it can barely take on a Stell, the most basic enemy there is in the game. Sure, you can cool it for a better fire rate, but at that point it's just picking out specific things, so it seems useful. Now the Fuse is a turret I shit on, a lot. But to be honest, it's a decent support turret. Keyword here, support. It obviously doesn't live up to its Supilo counterpart, but honestly, nothing will. In terms of pricing and ammo, it's quite cheap. The most expensive material being tungsten. The damage is actually quite shit, but that doesn't matter, since as I mentioned before, it's a support turret. Unsurprisingly, in low B tier, we have Malign and Smite. I'm grouping both of them into one because no one can really tell the difference. This also gets Scathe treatment because nobody actually uses it. It's too expensive to make, let alone use. It's the only 2 turrets that need phase fabric on Erekir, which is already a quite valuable resource to come by. An entire other thing is its ammo. Smite uses Surge, while Malign needs heat, stonks of it. This is yet another case where investing in T4 or 5 is better than making this. The reason it's not lower is that it's actually a decent damage dealer and crowd control weapon, absolutely shredding higher tiers. But first, you need the resources for it. You can actually place one of these in custom games, unlike a certain turret, and once you do, you've basically won the game. Now, the Spurs is a pretty average anti-air gun. In fact, it's the only anti-air gun on Erekir. It uses tungsten as ammo and requires thorium to construct. Honestly, there's not a lot to say about it. It has a decent range and it can be used as a radar if you have enough resources. The only downside with this thing is that Erekir units are quite tanky, especially the lower tiers compared to its Supilo counterparts. This means it can be swarmed quite quickly, not good or bad. B tier. Finally, in B tier, we have the Titan. It has the longest range aside from Scathe, but it's actually affordable. Many might disagree and tell me to rank it higher, but I don't care. It needs thorium and hydrogen as ammo, quite cheap for what it does. Its fire rate is quite slow, but it's not built for its fire rate. Rather, its long-range shells. It creates the standard redcon experience. Its shells are great at crowd control, especially great at dispatching large groups of units. A couple of these can also do some decent damage to higher tier units. It's a standard part of any defense. From this point onwards, we got the Router certified turrets. If you have these on your side, you will definitely win. Otherwise, oh no. To quote from the Utterly Deranged, these turrets are clap conquer silicon cheeks from behind. In A tier, we have Luster. It uses nitrogen as ammo to fire a single laser at high priority targets. This thing has insane DPS, and the ammo is cheap. All that you need is some power for heat and heat for nitrogen. In terms of pricing, it's kinda mid. Sure, the ammo is extremely cheap, however it uses carbide. Its range is great, and when you get it in the mid game, it's a good way to ensure that you can take down higher tier units. All things said, it's still relatively cheap, but its lack of power control and use of carbide moves it from S to A. Still, great turret. The final turret in A tier is Sublimate. Now some of you will probably disagree with me putting Sublimate above Malign, but as I said before, I don't care. Sublimate is the Scorch of Erekir. You get it in the relative early game, and this thing is absolute pog. It requires oxide to make, which is an early game resource. It uses ozone and cyanogen as ammo, which is really cheap. Even cyanogen, which is a more expensive resource, does insane damage if you're able to get it. Despite this, it has insane DPS. 4 of them with ozone is the same as a single Luster. Now that might sound bad, but considering the fact it's a lot cheaper to make, can be placed anywhere, and is great at crowd control, goes into high A tier.
One day I was born.
Finally, the most beloved turret on Erekir, Afflict. I'll be honest, for a long time I actually thought it was absolute shit, but I was severely wrong. I thought it was a glorified breach, however it is infinitely better. The pricing is actually quite decent for what it's capable of, the only problem being surge to produce, but even then it's not a problem if you have a good schematic. It uses heat, and fortunately, unlike Malign, it doesn't need heat equivalent to the sun. It can be easily loaded with electric heaters if you have enough power. Its range is great compared to its rate of fire, and its crowd control abilities are absolutely impeccable. The only setback you might encounter is a lack of power, but as I mentioned before, you probably have a lot of it at this point in the game. This makes it the objective, purely factual best turret in the game. Well, here's the entire Erekir turret tier list. Is it the best one? Yes. I plan on making more content like this in the future. A Mindustry creator with a voice is actually unheard of, but I plan on sticking around for a while, even if it is quite shit. So, subscribe. Now, if you like this video, it would be appreciated if you... What the fuck? Seems like I missed something.